Amazing. Okay. Um, let's do it. Okay, so Canto 4, Chapter 17 and Text 25. Um, Amshuman Kshutparitanam Amshumam Kshutparitanam Artanam Paridevitam Shamshayishyami Madbane Sorry, Samayishyami Madbane Bhinna Yastava Medhasa Amusham Kshutparitanam. So, okay, I need to get my Sanskrit right today. Artanam Paridevitam Shamayishyami Madbane Bhinna Yastava Medhasa Amusham Kshutparitanam Artanam Paridevitam Shamayishyami Madbane Bhinnayastava Medasa. Okay. Sham Kshutparitana Shami Madbane Bhinnayastava Medasa. Bhinnayastava Medasa Amusham Kshutparitanam Artanam Paridevitam Samayishyami Madbane Bhinnayastava Medasa. Ladies, anybody wants to give it a shot? Amusham Kshutparitanam Artanam Paridevitam Shamayishyami Madbane Bhinnayastava Medasa. You want to give it a shot? Give it a shot. Sure. Amusham Kshutparitanam Artanam Paridevitam Shamayishyami Madbane Bhinnayastava Medasa. Very good, very good. See, you're in. Welcome, welcome to the Hare Krishna movement. Okay, Amusham, of all these, all of them, sorry. Kshutparitanam, suffering from hunger. So, Pari, um, you'll see that in English. Perimeter, all these peris come into in the is the origin from Sanskrit pari. Have you ever wondered why I keep, like I've done it so many times, have you ever wondered why I do this, like try to see parallels in English and Sanskrit? You ever wondered? Do you want me to explain why I do that? There's a method in the madness. Have you heard of this term, method in the madness? You heard this? There is a method in the madness. Have you ever wondered why I do this? I'll tell you the reason today. For no extra cost. I'm not going to charge you extra for this. Just price, these are all standard prices today, Thursday. The reason I do that is when you catch the universality of the language, when you catch the universality of the language of these prayers, of the scriptures, you can also get a glimpse of the universality of the deity that these scriptures are glorifying. Do you want me to repeat it? Did it make sense, or do you want to repeat one more time? When you understand this language is universal, it transforms into so many other languages. It just like offshoot, so many. I mean, Indo-European, come on, it's no secret. Okay? I'm not like, wow, telling anything new to you guys. The Indo-European connection, the ancient Indo-European academic connections, not just some anthropological tribal connection. I'm talking about academical connections. This is no secret anymore. Okay? It's no secret. Anybody who's passed high school and just doing normal linguistics in bachelor's will tell you. English, European language and Sanskrit are extremely connected, except two, which is Hungarian Finnish. Except those two, every single European language, every third word you'll see a parallel in Sanskrit. And the reason I do that is when you see the universality of the language, then it follows and it becomes easier to follow. Okay, so if the language is universal, the deity that this language is regarding, which is Vasudeva, is also universal. And then it's like, it's a bridge. Then you don't need to, it's not confusing to see so many, languages, so many cultures, so many tribes, so many cults, so many countries. It's not so confusing. Someone is regarding, Jesus is the only way, or someone is going, Muhammad is the only way. Someone is going, Yahweh is the only way. And we come right across with our cotton clothes saying, no, Ishvara Parama Krishna. And we're so confused. But when you follow the language, and when you see the universality of the language, then it just naturally follows that the deity that this language is regarding must also be universal. And then it's a seamless progress. It's just like as easy as drinking water. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. Haribol. Jai Srila Prabhupada. It's just easy. Does it make sense? So I just thought after like boring you for nearly 3 years now, I thought I'll one day tell you why I do that. Please tell your friends. Please tell your friends and families. Okay. So Paritanam, that Pari is a word in English, Peri. And Artanam, of the distressed. Paridevitam, the lamentation. So Krishna uses this word Paridevitam in Bhagavad Gita. Avyaktadini bhutani, vyaktamadhyani bharata, avyakta nidhananyeva, tatraka paridevana. So why are you worrying? Why are you concerned? That's the word. Why are you distressed? That's the same word. But paridevita is past participle of the same word. So paridevita. Shamayishyami Shamayishyami, I shall pacify. Madbanair, by my arrows. Bhinnaya, being cut to pieces. Tava, of you, Medasa, by the flesh. Okay, so we can do the translation call and response. Now with the help of my arrows, I shall cut you to pieces, and with your flesh satisfy the hunger-stricken citizens who are now crying for want of grains. Thus I shall satisfy the crying citizens of my kingdom. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurulmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vande Nanda Vrajastrinam Padarenum Abhikshnasha Yasam Harikatodgitam Punati Bhuvanatrayam. So welcome to the Bhagavatam class this morning. This is a very exciting part of Bhagavatam. Actually, I'll flip the chart upside down for you guys. It's actually quite confronting. Have you ever heard of this word, confronting? So this is actually confronting on many levels. This verse is very this particular chapter of our fourth canto is quite confronting in many levels. So do you want me to go through some of the confrontations without confronting you? One of the most confrontational thing of these words is that Prithu Maharaja, first thing is, Prithu Maharaja is the original king. You heard of the original king? The term, you must have heard of if you know a little bit of, if you studied in convent schools, or if you have associated with Christian friends, you will have heard of this word called original king. And in the Bible, the original king is the King Saul. We have a Bhakta Saul here. His name comes from that, the King Saul. So that's the original anointed king, because after Yahweh left, everybody had a king in the planet, and everybody had like standard rules, and everybody was being ruled according to a dharmic king, except these little 12 tribes in the Middle East. So they thought, we need a king. And they prayed to God, and God sent and pronounced that I'm sending you an original king, and his name is Saul. If you see the background of Prithu is the original king, and he was pronounced by the Brahmanas even before his birth that we are going to bring out an original king out of this Vena's body, and he is going to be the original king, and he was anointed as the original king. So although King Saul is proclaimed as the original king as the Bible, if you just anthropologically regress further back, Saul was somewhere 2,500 years ago. More than 3,000. Yeah, about 3,500 years ago. So if you go maybe another 1,500 years ago, then you are in the lineage of the original kings, which the last one was our Parikshit Maharaj. So the original king concept was started by Prithu Maharaj, the original one emperor of the world. Now this is confronting because we are living in a democratic world. We are living in a democratic world politically. We are living in a democratic world socially. We are living in a democratic world academically. Majority has to rule. Majority has to cast the votes. Majority has to pick the chase. We are accustomed to this kind of thing. And all of a sudden, when you hear an original one king, and he is like the registered, like the proprietor of the king, confronting. You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay, so I'll continue this, but what I'll do is I'll quickly read the purport, because one of my best friends here, he said he's very want to make sure it flows with the purport. So I'll quickly read the purport, and then I'll match you up with where I was leading you, where I was deviating you. No, just joking. Here we find some indication of how the government can arrange for eating of cow flesh. It is here indicated that in rare circumstance where there is no supply of grains, the government may sanction the eating of meat. Whoa. Well, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur said that. Did you know that? Did you know the story? Some of his disciples had gone to East Pakistan, Bangladesh, and they came back and they said, nobody cares about us. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, why? Because they are so addicted to meat. It's meat, meat, meat. And we are here rocking up in our dhoti kurtas, Kantimala Tulsis, and we're talking no meat, they don't give a damn. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we don't have one person in the Bhagavatam class. I mean, I'm lucky. I have 15, 14 here. They said nobody. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, you know what? Feed them meat. If that's the only way you can attract them to come and sit in your Gita classes, give them meat. Did you know that? He's radical. He's radical. Because he said, hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita will strip them off their inclinations. So, if by putting some meat, they'll come and listen to your classes, give it to them. It's radical. He was, like, we call out of the box. Like, he was out of the box. He could think out of the box. So he said, give them it. And of course, they had a very successful movement in Bangladesh. And as you know, there's very good temples. Of course, it's sad that a lot of them are getting slaughtered. It's sad. It's really sad. But what I'm trying to say is, we have leaders like so radical. And Prabhupada, him saying that there is, in rare circumstances, when there is no supply of grains, the government may sanction of eating of meat, is not such a, to use the colloquial Sydney, wacko thing. It's not such a, no. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did that. If that's the only way you can get them to come and listen to your class, if they are so addicted to meat, like lusty for meat, give them meat. But let them come and listen to your classes. Interesting. How many of you heard this before? Oh yes, Manakrit. He's the Shastrik boy. I like you, Manakrit. I do. So, yeah, he's very, very radical. That's what Vaishnavas are. Vaishnavas are people who will come completely left field, who will turn the table around, and the main thing for them is how to either bring people to Krishna, everybody, or take Krishna to people. This is, like someone asked me, what is the definition of Vaishnava? I was at some book table in Wentworthville, and they had some grudges with the Vaishnavas, because they had experiences, because Vaishnavas, we give them, we try to make them pure, and they don't like it. So they had grudges, and they, how do you define Vaishnava? I said, this is how I define Vaishnava. He was going to think I'm going to say no onion, no garlic, no meat, no intoxication, no illicit drugs, and no, the fourth one that people don't like, no illicit sex. Anyway, don't give me the fourth rule. Anyway, so he thought I'm going on a rant and that. I said, no, this is the only one thing a Vaishnava is concerned about. And so what is it? He's how to bring people to Krishna, or how to take Krishna to people. That's a Vaishnava. Oh. He said, oh, I know. Oh. So you don't worry about like all the onion garlic stuff? No. That's details. What these two things that we are about. Smartatyam satatam. Anyway, smartavyam satatam Vishnu. Na smartavyam. Vismartavyam kadan. Etayorapi sarvairapi nishedasya ekayorapi kinkara. This is what we are worried about. This is a Vaishnava. We either bring people to Krishna or we take Krishna to people. That's the two rules. So anyway, where did I deviate? So this is what I was explaining, how Prabhupada's strong statement where in government, if there is a shortage of supply, let them eat meat, but chant Hare Krishna for God's sake. That's the point he's making. Does it make sense? Okay, I'll keep reading. Anyway, but now in rare circumstances, flesh eating, but not otherwise. Okay, the maintenance of slaughterhouses for the satisfaction of the tongue and the killing of animals unnecessarily should never be sanctioned by the government. I'll give you one thing, okay? it doesn't matter someone who is addicted to meat. I actually had a colleague who used to sit next to me when I was in the corporate world. I was there for nearly maybe over 2 decades, 24, 25 years. And I used to mingle with a lot of all this corporate. I was in the panel of the executives and all that. I've done all that. Top buildings, everything. Anyway, I used to have one of these big executives sit next to me, and he actually used an interesting term. Sorry for if it. I'm very sorry if this throws you out. But he said something very interesting to me. He said there's two most pleasureful activities for him in this world. One is drinking and the second is sex. And he said eating cow meats beats those two by far. I was like, wow, you got some standards, man. I mean, I'm a thick skin, okay? I can take some rough statements, but that threw me out of my chair. So, like two popular things for him for sense gratification, but he said to me that cow meat beats the both by far, by miles. But I told him this one thing before leaving the data. It was a project. I wasn't going to see his face again ever. So whatever I said, didn't matter because I had a flight to catch in 60 minutes. So like, what are you going to do? Fire me? Okay, I'm going to say. I said this one thing I want to tell you. He said, yeah, what? Do this for me. Do one favor. Promise me you'll do this. He said, yes. I'll send you a Christmas gift that you never received in your life. You'll be so happy to receive it. I'll send you a Christmas gift. Do this one thing for me. He said, what? Spend 7 days with a cow. Go to a farm. Choose a farm stay for your next holiday. Plenty out there. Choose a farm stay for your next holiday. Spend 7 days with a cow and look after it. And come back and tell me if you still love eating cow meat. You want me to tell you the outcome? He actually did. And he stopped eating. He actually did spend 7 days with a cow. He called me and he said, that was transformational. He stopped eating flesh of the cow forever. I said, what happened? He said to me, I've only seen saintly people, but the first time you introduced me to a saintly animal. There are saints in men, and there are saints in animal, and this is a saint. I can't eat it. It's disgusting what I did. Disgusting what I said. Thank you very much. So, it's just so natural. Because we are so thrown out from this natural world. We live in this cosmos. We've taken up this cosmos lives. Luckily, brahmacharya life is a very good life. Hopefully, you don't have to see hear or see as much as, unfortunately, I had to. But it's a very, very funny world, to say the least. People say these things, wacko things like that. Like real left field things. So yeah, this is cow. Look after a cow. If hopefully people other than devotees will listen to this class in the coming ages, and you will see the potential. You ever lived with a cow? You ever looked after a cow? Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Would you want to eat it? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Okay, as described in a previous verse, cows and other animals should be given sufficient grass to eat. If despite a sufficient supply of grass, by the way, I sent him his Christmas gift, just in case you were wondering. I sent him his Christmas gift for abiding by my little assignment. I had sent him his Christmas gift. As described in a previous verse, cows and other animals should be given sufficient grass to eat. If despite a sufficient supply of grass, a cow does not supply milk, and if there is an acute shortage of food, the dried up cow may be utilized to feed the hungry mass of people. According to the law of necessity, first of all, human society must try to produce food, grains, and vegetables, but if they fail in this, they can indulge in flesh eating, otherwise, not. A human society is presently structured. There is no sufficient as human society is presently structured, there is sufficient production of grains all over the world. Therefore, the opening of slaughterhouses cannot be supported. In some nations, there is so much surplus grain that sometimes extra grains is thrown into the sea. Did you know there's about approximately, I don't know what the current number is, there's approximately 87,000 cruises that are going up the Caribbean and the Pacific every day. Did you know that? 87,000 cruises. And you know how much food they carry? And you know how much food they make as a buffet for the people? And can you imagine how much food, when the ship has to come to the dock, because of the safety reasons, because of the quarantine reasons, how much food they have to throw into the sea before Lord coming back to the dock? Did you know that? It could feed a whole country. I used to finance these ships. I was in a bank. I used to finance these companies. I like hundreds of millions of dollars. I finance these people. I know their logistics. I know how much food they carry into the ship, how much they cater, and how much for quarantine reasons they have to dump it in the sea. 87,000, and this must be old news, because I left the bank in 2021. So 5 years is a long time. 2020, end of 2020, 21. So 5 years is a long time. It's an eternity when it comes to this fast-paced civilization. So I must be backwards in my numbers. Can you imagine? You can feed a whole country. You're talking about deficit of food? Be very careful. I used to be an economist. So I read so much about how these people play with food, with money, with currencies, with cattle, with agriculture, with commerce. I've read micro and macro economics. It's like am I getting a heart attack? Like it pains. It's like it's like you read and it pains in your heart. Just to manipulate you. Just to make sure you pay your $4 for the avocado in the coals. It's amazing what happens out there. Just to manipulate your lives. It's amazing. So there is no shortage of foods. And the overpopulation thing, the thing about overpopulation. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's two words that I want to say. Not in the temple, but if you meet me outside, I would say that. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. This Dasharatha, just when Dasharatha was king, was ruling the planet, he had 9 billion in his army. Just Dasharatha on his own had 9 billion in his army. We are like the whole planet, we are like hardly just under 8 billion now. Who's talking about food shortages? See, the problem is we don't understand the potential of this earth. Okay? Now, I'm going to get into that metaphysics very soon. So just buckle up your seatbelts, sit tight. I know it's getting a bit boring. I'll make this a little bit more exciting now. Yeah? A human society. Are you okay so far? Like, what is this guy? What is this guy talking about? Is it okay all? Is it kind of sinking in with the words? Yeah? Okay. Okay. Where did I leave you? Otherwise, a human society is presently, I think I did that. And sometimes the government forbids further production of grain. The conclusion is that earth produces sufficient grains to feed the entire population, but the distribution of this grain is restricted due to trade regulations. Bingo. And a desire for profit. Okay. Consequently, in some places there is scarcity of grain, and in others profuse production. If there were one government on the surface of the earth to handle this distribution of grain, there would be no question of scarcity, no necessity of open slaughterhouses, and no need to present false theories about overpopulation. There you go. Okay, I practically did the purport without, even before I did the purport, so you should be happy. I'll get back to why this verse is confrontational. Yeah? The reason this is confrontational is because first I already mentioned to accept one emperor of this planet. But here I want to give you a little introduction. Even though you think you are in a democratic world, secular world, actually speaking, you are still under one emperor. Did you ever realize that? Can you explain why? Oh my God, you have blown my mind away. We should talk. We should talk. He is amazing, this guy. God damn it. Amazing. You think you are a democratic world, but we still live in a one single emperor or two single emperor world. We always will do. We always have, we always are, we always will do. This is the reality. The nomenclature, the democracy is just a big scam. Okay? It's a big scam. Come on. It's a big scam. Okay? I'm not giving you any, wow, throwing you out of your asanas. It's a big scam. At the end of the day, the world follows one emperor, one ruler. Now it is America. And in the East, China and US are trying to squeeze their seats. It was always like that. Mathura, Hastinapura were one emperor, and Panchala trying to squeeze its way in. That's what it is. Magadha from side, Germany trying to squeeze in. And then you have these Magadha, Panchala trying to squeeze in like USSR and, no, sorry. I mean, it's not exactly similar, but I'm just trying to say how people are always trying to squeeze in. But Hastinapur and Mathura was the USA when Krishna was in. I'm serious. Culture flows down like water. The higher cultures are always pouring their they call soft power and hard power. You ever heard of this? The hard power is the military, the nuclear weapons, the technology, the army. That's hard power. The soft power is the movies, the art, the culture, the forks, the spoons, the chopsticks. This is the soft power. The Hollywood, the Bollywood. This is the soft power. So you are controlled by the more by the soft power than you are controlled by the hard power. Just pay attention. Just pay attention how this world goes. You're actually more in the grips of soft power than the hard power. So culture is always flowing down. So if you have like higher emperors like Parikshit Maharaj, then he flows the culture down Bhagavatam to other parts of the world. But when you have the America as the higher softer power influenced by the okay, I'm not a political guy, but influenced by the previous Democrats, then you flow the AGBGST culture down there. I don't, oh, whoa, whoa. I don't mind, I don't hate gays or anybody, but I'm just saying, I don't hate homosexual, not a homophobic, not at all. I'm just saying, whatever culture is up there, they fall downstairs. If they change genes, if they bring a new genes, if the Swaj is the new perfume there, then it automatically comes into the Delhi airport when you get off for Vrindavana. Just out there to go Vrindavana, you come out of the Delhi airport and you have this Johnny Depp on there. Everywhere like a celebrity. He is a celebrity. And he's wearing these watches and, you know, and then he's doing this Sauvage perfume. And what do you want to do next? You want to buy one. Isn't it? You see Johnny Depp, you see Roger Federer wearing a nice Rado watch and spraying Sauvage perfume. What do you want to do next? You want to straight go swipe your card, don't you? So you are so much in the grip of the soft culture as much as you are in the more than in the hard power. So I'll tell you a little history to prove you that Hastinapur and Mathura was the USA and UK of when Krishna was on the planet. Did you know that? Have you ever thought like this? Just like you have USSR, UK, sorry, okay, bit rusty. You have USA, UK, you have Germany, you have France, you have all these, you know, EU as powerful states now. You have Mathura, you have Hastinapura, you have Magadha, you have Panchala, you have Sindh. These were the EUs of that time. And culture used to flow down from there to the west. And I'll give you an example. An example, tangible, written proof. There is a, I know they call it a myth, but Iliad, have you ever heard Trojan army? You know the Trojan army? The Trojan War? So the whole Trojan War comes in a book called Iliad and the Odyssey. So Odyssey is the aftermath, Iliad is the actual war. So Helen of Troy, you heard of Helen of Troy? So I'll give you a quick, like 2-minute recap. So what happens is, this mischievous prince, there's this mischievous prince, his name is Paris. He belongs to the Trojans in the Troy city. He goes for a little, like an ambassador to this close country across the sea, and he does a very, very nice thing. He steals the queen of the Sparta, and he brings her back. Her name is Helen of Troy. And the whole battle began because he steals a princess of a very... Helen of Troy was the most beautiful. She said, it said, the face that launched 1,000 ships. That's how beautiful she was. A face that launched 1,000 ships. That's how beautiful she was. So he took that prince and the whole Trojan War started. So this is the interesting thing. When he goes to meet her in her inner quarters in Sparta, she's showing off her collections in her private museum, and most of the items that she's showing off is, this silk I got from India. These jewels I got from the northern India. These things, I got from the western India, maybe Surat, Gujarat. And she's talking, this silk I got from this. This silk my father brought from this part of India. It's like you buy a branded product and you say, I got it from UK, I got it from USA. The dialogue goes like that. So this was around 3,500 years ago when the people, great kings like Trojans, used to describe their luxuries in the sense that they belonged to Indian continent. So Krishna strategically landed in a place which was full of soft power and hard power. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so This is confrontational. Because now we live in an age which is so distorted. Indian is a backward, third class country. From the way they see us, we don't even have food to eat, kind of thing. All of a sudden we come and say, okay, here is our Hare Krishna movement. Go buy yourself a decent, go buy yourself some decent food for God's sake, then come back to me and give me your philosophy. That's the problem we face, don't we? It's confrontational. So another confronting thing in this story is that Prithu Maharaj is trying to kill Mother Earth. So if he's trying to kill Mother Earth, where is he going to stand? What is he going to rule? Have you ever thought about this? If he kills Mother Earth, Prithu, the name Prithu comes because he has a wide Prithu kingdom on the planet. So his name is directly linked to this planet. If he kills Mother Earth, where is he going to stand? But even killing Mother and shooting the arrow, he must be standing on the planet, right? He must be standing somewhere. So how can you kill something? How can you cut a branch that you're sitting on? You ever thought about this? How is he trying to do this? Another paradox I want to throw. The Bhumi Earth, if you go to 12th canto of Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter, there is something called Bhumi Gita. Have you heard of Bhumi Gita? So Bhumi Gita, while she starts offering her praise, the first king that she mentions is she goes like, so many kings that came to to this planet, so many people wanted to rule, they're all dead. They're all dead, they're all disappeared, forget about it. And you know the first person that she lists? Who is the first person she lists? Prithu Maharaj. So here Prithu Maharaj, she's acting like she's as if she's terrified by his arrows. And Prithu Maharaj is like, I'm going to kill you now. But okay, after I'm killing, what am I going to rule? Where is my palace going to stand? Okay, how am I going to have a shower? So he can't obviously kill the cow. Or Prithu Maharaj is not so terrified if she did the Bhumi Gita and the first king she listed is Prithu Maharaj, and she lists Prithu Maharaj, she lists Yayati and Bahushan, Nahusha and Pururava, and she goes on and on, Rama and Krishna and Yadu dynasty people, and she goes there. Big kings tried, they want to own me, they wanted to exploit, they wanted to occupy this planet. Guess what? They're all dead and buried. So what is going on here? You ever thought about that? Ever thought about this? You want me to explain? Explain what's going on here? They're just playing a little skit. They're just playing a little skit. It's like a teacher comes to the principal in a school and she goes, I'm so sick of the class that Bhava Vibhushana sits. He is a brat. He doesn't listen to me. He never does his homeworks. He's always throwing chewing gums at me. I can't get around his seat. He's all these drawings of, cartoons, like he's drawing Peppa Pig on his, around the walls. I can't put up with where this class is Bhava Vibhushana shit. I'm disgusted. She tells to the principal. No, I'm just joking, yeah? You know it's a joke, right? So, and I'm disgusted with this class, this Bhava Vibhushana sits. He's a B-R-A-T, capitals. Okay? And the principal says to the teacher, okay, but I cannot say anything to him directly because his mother and father are going to come and fall on me like a ton of bricks. Okay? They're not going to leave me alone. I don't want to say anything to him directly. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come to the class. I'm going to do a little skit with the teacher. Teacher, your class is so bad. You're not cultivating this class well. I'm so angry on you. I'm going to sack you. And the teacher goes, no, 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 no. I would have done so nicely. I would have given the students everything I wanted. But they don't behave. They're not dharmic. They don't follow the scriptures. They don't do our homeworks. They don't abide by the scriptural rules. They don't care for the laws of the school. They haven't even read the constitution of the school once. They're always attacking each other. They're throwing chewing gums at me. And what's going on with the purple pigs on the, I don't need, they're like year 10. Why are they drawing purple pigs on the wall? I'm not a purple, I know I'm little plump and little chubby, but I don't look like purple pig. Why are they drawing my pictures on the wall? Oh, is that why you're unhappy? Is that why you're distressed? Is that why your class is underperforming? Okay, let me fix your class. Do you see? Do you see now what's going on? So here you have Prithu Maharaj. Bhu Shakti is actually, the three Shaktis in the spiritual world. Who can tell me the three Shaktis in spiritual world? No, I'm talking about the spiritual modes of nature. Sat? Yes. So these are the, like we have Sat, like we have Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. These are the material three gunas. In the spiritual world, there's spiritual three gunas. Transcendental, Ujjvala, and Sach, Chit, and Ananda. So Bhudevi belongs to the Krishna's Sat potency, which is the eternal potency, where it is a being potency, where you exist. Then the next stage is cognizant. You have to exist before you're cognizant. Hello? Duh. And then you come to the next stage, which is bliss. So Bhudevi is the expansion of Satyabhama, which is the existential Sat potency of Krishna. So Prithu Maharaj, if you remember, is actually the expansion of Krishna. How could Krishna kill and highlight his Sat potency? He couldn't do that. So he couldn't kill earth, like Mother Earth in the form of the cow. What is he going to rule after that? He's got nothing to rule. So Bhudevi, who in the Bhugita is saying they're all dead, mate. All the kings that wanted to plow me, level me, occupy me, exploit me, they're all dead. So she knows what she's doing. He knows what he's doing. But here we have both of them fighting in this chapter. Now that makes you think. What is interesting? It's just a little skit. And what's more, it actually gets scribed as a text. And we're reading this after millions of years. So now after this, Mother Earth is going to say why she is not performing why she is not releasing her potencies, why she is extremely disappointed, why the dharma is called all topsy-turvy on the planet. There is a specific reason why I'm withholding my potencies. There is a specific reason why I'm doing all this. And if you can please fix this chewing gum problem, I can start doing my lessons. If you know what I mean. Chewing gum problems. So the teacher is saying to the headmaster, the principal, that if you can fix these brats, I can do proper philosophy. I can start teaching these idiots. If you see like that, then you will learn much more from this. You think I made your day? Did I make your day? You get more out of this. Rather than just reading it some Hindu religious text, You read it as a live thing that's going on in your life, flowing in your bloodstreams right now. Even 40 years ago, when I was a little kid, okay, I'm 47 now. Okay, I just dated myself, did I? Okay. When I was a little kid, 6-year-old, I was growing up in a boarding. It was in the forest. And our pastime was we used to jump out of the wall and we escaped into the forest. And where I come from, it used to be considered the lowliest places in the country. In terms of like food generating, it's not fertile at all. Like out of 10, we were somewhere at 1 or 2. Still, when I escaped from my boarding on Sundays and Saturdays, jumped out of the wall with other few mates, of course my brother was there, and we jumped out of the wall, we went into the forest for a whole day. And we came back nearly at 6 o'clock in the evening. Never once in my whole school life I came back hungry. I came back starving. The whole forest was full of fruits. There's custard apples, there's guava, there's peanuts, there's sweet potatoes, there's watermelons, there's mangoes, there's nuts, there's olives, there's grapes, there's pears, there's all kind of fruits. There's beautiful ponds, we jump in the lakes, drink fresh water, eat so much sweet potatoes, watermelon, mangoes, nuts. By the time we came, we had to jump back very sneakily into the house. So by the time we jumped back, it was dinner time. And we came into the big dinner hall, like 160 people, children. And we're sitting there and thinking, okay, the server would come and, could I serve you more dal? And like, mm-mm. Oh, you're not hungry today? Mm-mm. You want some more soup? No, but you love dosa. Why? Because I was so full eating in the forest. And this is just not cultured. Not cultured. Not farmed. Just bushes. And we'd come back so full. Same forest you go now, you'd be dead in half an hour. You'd be dead in half an hour. Because the heat is killing you from up, and there's no more watermelons, there's no more nuts, there's no more pears, there's no more custard apples, there's no more mangoes. It's all bushes. Thick, pricky bushes. I've seen this in 40 years. So you can guess why Prithu Maharaj is so disappointed. So it's just a little skit. So rather than focusing so much and getting entangled in the drama of the Mother Earth's and Prithu Maharaj's fight, so-called fight, take the dharma out of it. And what is the dharma? The dharma is consciousness is primary and matter is derivative. You are a conscious entity, an Atma that were given a life full of meaning and purpose to attain a much more higher status, ontological status, called a servitorship, an association, company with Super Soul, Super Atma, Krishna. That is your dharma. That's what we got to be focusing on. Not the fight. The fight is a skit. Just a little skit. Just to get rid of chewing gums from the class. Just a little skit. So focus on the dharma. And the dharma is Smartavyam Satatam Vishnu Visvartavyam Nakadachana Sarvairapi Nishodasya Rekayorapi Kinkara. Somehow come to Krishna or take Krishna with you. Is that a good idea? You're going to take Krishna with you today? How are you going to do that? Do you have Bhagavad Gita at home? Okay. Chandan Churchit is going to give you a Bhagavad Gita before you leave. Yeah? So you please take Bhagavad Gita with you And we have some material that will help you with Bhagavad Gita. Give him a supplement book, like something like Hiding in Unnatural Happiness, something supplement to bridge. Yeah? Please, Chandan Charchit today is going to give you a Bhagavad Gita. Please take Krishna home. And once you read, it becomes your life. Can you guess how many times I read that? Can you guess how many times I read Bhagavad Gita? Just take a guess. Wild guess. Huh? I'm reading it 64th time now. 63rd time now. It becomes your food. It becomes your oxygen. And its life is beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not that the world will be with no fights, no wars. No. You will have a clear vision of which side you will be. This world will always be with wars. Don't delude yourself thinking, sometimes we get these book distribution campaigns on Bhadra Purnima, and they say, oh, distribute the books and everything, and all the wars will disappear. No, thank you. It's not going to happen. There will always be wars. When Krishna was present, Kala Yavana attacked him 17 times. And there was a huge war. Saindhava, the sons of Saindhava didn't even allow Arjuna into the kingdom, even after winning the Kurukshetra. Okay? So Krishna was on the planet and there was wars everywhere. So how do you expect that the wars will disappear by book distribution? No. Wars are not going to disappear because of book distribution. What's going to happen is you will have a clear vision of which side you will be on. You will be on the side of Dharma. That's the point. Is that okay? Was it too strong, or was that okay? Okay, I'll give you like a 30 seconds wrap up. First we talked about killing cow is not such a good idea. By just living with a cow with 7 days, I had a friend of mine who completely flipped. Poop! Just living with a cow for 7 days. I just said live with a cow for 7 days. Poop! Flip. They're saintly people, they're saintly animals, and cow is one of them. Not a good idea. No. Try. No. If you can, one message you want to preach this message. No killing cows. And I brought some confrontating things. One, how can we accept this Bhagavatam coming from India when India is like one of those third world countries? No, India was not the third world countries. When the Bhagavatam was spoken, India was the soft power, the hard power, the emperor of this world. Just like you have European Union, you have this union of Hastinapur, Panchala, Magadha, Sindh, Mathura. These are all the European Union of that time. So Krishna very strategically lodged in between. Why? Because culture flows down. So I showed you how culture flows down. Yeah? That way you have some ammunition now to go out, and don't be so embarrassed to present an Eastern wisdom. Be bold. Yeah? I explained that. And I explained the paradoxes, like what's going on with when Bhumi was saying, even Prithu Maharaj is dead after he wanted to occupy my planet, but he's dead. Or so many other kings, Nahusha, Yayati, yada. She names like 30 kings, they're all dead. But she pretending as if she's afraid of Prithvi. And Prithu, how would he kill his own Sandhini Shakti? Sandhini Samvit Hladini. How would he kill his own Sandhini Shakti? Where is he going to stand? It's just a little skit. So that dharma can be pronounced, a proper behavior can be pronounced by Mother Earth. So today, now in 2025, 6th of March, who would believe that we'd be sitting here and reading Bhagavatam? Because they did that little skit there. Now we have this transcendental knowledge. And I really appreciate your answer when I asked how you could just quickly see. We see democracy as it's deluding us to think as if we are not in an emperor world. We are always in one emperor world. Now it's Donald Trump. And rest of it, they used to call Samantaka Rajya. Means like provinces within the one big planet emperor they used to be. So Yudhishthira and Parikshit Maharaj was the emperors, like the Donald Trump. Not from character wise, but what I'm saying is from an authority wise, they were like that Donald Trumps of that world, who could pass instructions, who could pass, ultimatums when they wanted to, who could bring the world together. Right. That was a mouthful. Did I just how was it? Did I just completely throw you guys out, or was it okay, or you going to still be in Hare Krishna? you, you still have your keeping your you still keeping your registrations with Hare Krishna? Okay, that's good news. Thank you very much. Any comments, questions? I threw you out somewhere like Radhika Prasad, gun him down. He's a common. No. Any comments, questions? I'll be happy. No? Okay. Okay, I did a good job. Okay, just wanted to thank you for coming here. Even little bit of Bhagavatam is okay. Yeah. So I was just saying we have two new guests here. Our the way we express love to you is either you come to Krishna or you take Krishna with you. So this is the only two ways we express our love. So do you have a Bhagavad Gita with you?
Yes, sir.
You have? Do you have Bhagavatam? Very good. You reading it?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. So Chandan Churchit is going to give a Bhagavad Gita to a nice couple there. So if you want to go next one step ahead with your Krishna consciousness, he'd be very happy to pass you another book, next level. Nectar of Devotion?
Yes.
You do? Oh, you do? Okay. Good, good. Okay. So, yeah, please collect your copy. And thank you for coming today. Thank you for listening to my incessant rant. Vanchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubhaivacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की